The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the manicured lawns of the Keller estate, where the scent of freshly cut grass mingled with the sweet perfume of blooming roses. Sam Rivera wiped the sweat from his brow, his hands trembling slightly as he maneuvered the hedge trimmer with precision. Each snip was a labor of love, a testament to his dedication to the vibrant greens and vivid colors that filled this luxurious expanse. Yet today, the weight of his responsibilities felt heavier than usual. Just as he stepped back to admire his work, a sharp sound sliced through the tranquility, a screech of tires, followed by a sickening thud. Sam's heart sank as he turned, already knowing what he would find. The sleek, black Lamborghini, a symbol of wealth and status, now bore an angry white line along its glossy surface. Panic surged through him, tightening his throat. He could already envision the months of toil it would take to pay for the repairs, a burden that would crush his family's already fragile financial stability. "No, no, no," Sam muttered under his breath as he hurried towards the car, each step heavier than the last. He could almost feel the ground beneath him shift, the weight of his mistake threatening to swallow him whole. He swallowed hard, steeling himself for the confrontation that was sure to follow. Ryan Keller, the estate's owner and a titan in the tech industry, emerged from the sprawling mansion, his expression unreadable. Sam's stomach churned as he approached, the vibrant garden around him suddenly feeling suffocating. "Mr. Keller," he stammered, I'm so sorry. I scratched your car. I'll pay for the repairs, I promise." Ryan's brows furrowed, but instead of the anger Sam expected, he was met with an inquisitive gaze. "You're the gardener?" Ryan asked, his tone unexpectedly calm. "I appreciate your honesty." Sam blinked, taken aback. "Really? You don't want to scream at me?" Ryan laughed softly, the tension easing slightly. "I admire integrity. Tell me about your work." As they spoke, the initial shock of the accident began to fade, replaced by a genuine connection. Sam shared his dreams of starting a landscaping business, his passion spilling forth like the vibrant blooms around them. For the first time in a long while, hope flickered within him, igniting a spark that had long been dulled by worry. "Let's see how we can turn that passion into something real," Ryan said, a hint of determination in his voice. Sam's heart raced. In that moment, a single scratch had the power to reshape his life entirely. Before we dive into this incredible journey of transformation and growth, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your support is everything to us and helps ensure stories like this one reach more people. Together, we can inspire change. So please, subscribe now. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting warm golden rays over the meticulously manicured lawns of the Keller estate. The air was thick with a sweet scent of blooming roses, a fragrance that Sam Rivera had come to associate with the rare moments of peace in his otherwise hectic life. Today, however, that calm was shattered. His hands trembled slightly as he maneuvered the hedge trimmer, snipping away at the dense greenery. Each careful cut was a labor of love, a testament to his dedication to nurturing life. Yet as he stepped back to admire his work, a sudden screech of tires shattered the tranquility. A sickening thud echoed in the silence that followed. Panic surged through him as he turned, dread pooling in his stomach. The sleek, black Lamborghini, a symbol of wealth he could scarcely comprehend, now bore a jagged white line along its glossy surface. He could almost feel the weight of his mistake pressing down on him, a looming financial disaster that could crush his family's already fragile stability. "No, no, no," the words came out as a desperate whisper, each syllable heavy with the fear of what was to come. With a steely resolve, Sam approached the damaged car, each step feeling like a march toward his doom. The vibrant garden around him, once a source of solace, transformed into a suffocating cage. He swallowed hard, his throat tight with anxiety. "Mr. Keller," he stammered, as the estate's owner emerged from the sprawling mansion, his expression unreadable. I'm so sorry. I scratched your car. I'll pay for the repairs, I promise." To Sam's shock, Ryan Keller's brows furrowed, but his response was not the explosion of anger he had anticipated. Instead, there was an inquisitive glint in his eye. "You're the gardener?" Ryan asked, his tone unexpectedly calm, almost intrigued. "I appreciate your honesty." Sam blinked, taken aback. "Really? You don't want to scream at me?" Ryan chuckled softly, the tension in the air dissipating slightly. "I admire integrity. Tell me about your work." The invitation to share his passion sparked something within Sam. "I've always loved plants," he began, the words spilling forth like the vibrant blooms around them. It's not just about cutting grass or pruning hedges. It's about creating something beautiful, something alive. I dream of starting my own landscaping business someday. Ryan's gaze sharpened, a flicker of something, interest? Empathy? Crossing his features. Let's see how we can turn that passion into something real, he said, a hint of determination coloring his voice. As they spoke, the initial shock of the accident morphed into an unexpected connection. With each word, Sam felt the heavy chains of worry begin to lift, replaced by a budding hope he hadn't dared to entertain in years. But beneath the surface of their conversation, a nagging sense of concern lingered. Could someone like Ryan Keller, a titan of the tech industry, truly understand the struggles of a hard-working gardener? Just then, Ryan leaned closer, his expression serious. You know, I've learned that the most successful ventures often come from the most unexpected partnerships. What you might see as a scratch on a car could be the start of something much greater. The weight of his words struck Sam like a thunderclap, igniting a flicker of excitement in his chest. But doubts crept in like shadows at twilight. What if this was just a moment of kindness? What if Ryan's world was too far removed from his own? Still, this was a chance, a rare opportunity that could change everything. Sam nodded, feeling a mix of gratitude and trepidation. I'd like that, Mr. Keller. I really would. As they parted ways, Sam glanced back at the Lamborghini, its sleek form now a symbol not just of his mistake, but of the potential for transformation. The sun continued its descent, bathing the garden in an ethereal glow, and for the first time in a long while, he felt the stirrings of hope. But as he began to pack up his tools, Sam couldn't shake the feeling that this encounter was just the beginning. The scratch on the Lamborghini was just the first layer of a much deeper connection waiting to unfold, one that could bridge worlds and transform lives. What lay ahead was uncertain, but Sam was determined to nurture this seed of possibility into something extraordinary. Little did he know, the coming days would test his integrity, resilience, and dreams in ways he could never have imagined. Sam Rivera's heart raced as he stepped away from the Lamborghini, the weight of his mistake still gnawing at him. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm glow over the Keller estate, but Sam could only feel the chill of dread creep in. The conversation with Ryan had stirred something deep within him, an ember of hope buried beneath layers of worry and exhaustion. Yet, the unease lingered, the nagging voice of self-doubt whispering that this moment of honesty might be fleeting, a mere blip in the grand scheme of Ryan Keller's extravagant life. As he gathered his tools, the sound of laughter floated from the mansion, a stark reminder of the world that felt so far removed from his own. Sam's family had always struggled, the kind of struggle that made dreams feel like distant stars, beautiful but unreachable. The fear of financial ruin loomed over him like a dark cloud, especially now, with the scratch on the Lamborghini hanging like a noose around his neck. What if Ryan changed his mind? What if he decided that a simple gardener wasn't worth the trouble? The thought twisted in his stomach, tightening like a vice. Determined to push the doubts aside, Sam focused on the task at hand, pruning the last few hedges with a meticulousness that served as both a distraction and a meditation. Each snip of the shears was a reminder of why he loved his work, the beauty of transformation, the joy of nurturing life. But just as he was about to lose himself in the rhythm, Ryan's voice interrupted him, rich and authoritative, yet tinged with a sincerity that made Sam's heart leap. "Sam," Ryan called out, striding across the lawn, an air of purpose surrounding him. "I've been thinking about what you said."
Sam is bread hitched.
"About the business." "Exactly. I have connections, people who could use someone like you. But I need to know you're serious about this. Are you ready to take that leap?" The question hung in the air, charged with possibility. Sam felt the weight of it pressing against his chest. This wasn't just about a scratch on a car anymore, it was about the chance to reshape his entire life. But it also meant stepping into a world that felt daunting and alien. I don't know if I'm ready," he admitted, vulnerability spilling out in the twilight. "What if I fail? What if I can't handle it?" Ryan paused, his expression shifting from that of a businessman to something more compassionate. "Sam, failure is part of any journey. But doing nothing? That's the real risk. You have talent, a passion that's rare. Don't let fear keep you from pursuing your dreams. If I hadn't taken risks, I wouldn't be where I am today." Sam's heart raced as he processed Ryan's words. The stakes had just risen dramatically. It wasn't just about him anymore, it was about his family, the legacy he wanted to create. A sudden clarity cut through the fog of uncertainty. If he didn't embrace this chance, he might forever remain trapped in a cycle of hard work with no return, like the roots of the plants he nurtured, reaching for something they could never grasp. "I want this," he said, the words bursting forth with newfound conviction. "I want to build something that lasts, something that gives back to my community." Ryan's eyes sparkled with approval. "Then let's make it happen. I'll introduce you to a few people this week. We'll set up a plan, and I'll mentor you through it. But you have to commit fully." A wave of exhilaration washed over Sam, mingling with a hint of fear. The choice was clear now: embrace the unknown or let this opportunity slip through his fingers. The stakes were personal, and the consequences of inaction resonated deeply. "Okay," Sam said, his voice steady. "I'm all in." As they shook hands, a bond formed between them, a connection grounded in mutual respect and shared dreams. In that moment, the scratch on the Lamborghini transformed into something far more profound, a catalyst for change, a bridge between their worlds that would nurture growth in ways neither of them could foresee. Later that evening, as Sam returned home, the glow of the setting sun painted the sky in hues of orange and pink. He felt lighter somehow, as if the burdens he carried had begun to lift. The garden he tended for others had become a metaphor for his own life, each pruning, each planting a step toward a vibrant future. With Ryan's help, he could cultivate not just his dreams but also the dreams of those around him. Little did he know, this single moment of vulnerability would ripple through his life, sowing seeds of transformation that would blossom into something extraordinary. And as he walked through the door, the warmth of hope enveloped him like the fragrant blooms he cherished, promising that the journey ahead would be one of growth, connection, and resilience. As the last rays of sunlight dipped beneath the horizon, Sam Rivera felt the weight of the day settle heavily on his shoulders. The promise of opportunity lingered in the air, but so did the gnawing anxiety that had plagued him since the moment he'd scratched Ryan Keller's Lamborghini. The conversation had ignited a flicker of hope within him, but now, with darkness falling around him, that flicker felt fragile, like a candle flickering against the encroaching shadows of doubt.
"Sam,
are you coming?" His wife, Maria, called from the kitchen, her voice a gentle reminder of the family waiting for him at home. "Yeah, just a minute," he replied, forcing a smile as he took a deep breath. He'd told Ryan he was all in, but the reality of that commitment weighed on him like a boulder. What if he failed? What if this opportunity slipped through his fingers, like so many before? As he stepped inside, the warm light of their small home enveloped him, a stark contrast to the opulence of the Keller estate. His two children, Sophia and Mateo, were sprawled on the living room floor, crayons scattered like fallen petals. Sophia looked up, her face lighting up with a smile. "Daddy, look at my drawing." She held up a piece of paper filled with vibrant colors and swirling shapes, a chaotic representation of a garden. But instead of joy, a knot tightened in Sam's stomach. The figures in her drawing, smiling, reaching, reminded him too much of the uncertainty he felt. He wanted to build something for her, something that would thrive, unlike the fleeting blooms of their small patch of yard. "That's beautiful, Mija," he said, forcing the pride into his voice. "You're going to be an amazing artist one day." "But Daddy," she continued, her little brow furrowing in confusion, "why are you sad?" Before he could answer, Maria walked in, wiping her hands on a dish towel. "Sam, is everything okay? You've been quiet since you got home." In that moment, the reality of his choices crashed down on him. He had just promised to take a leap into the unknown, and the burden of that promise pressed against his chest. I met Ryan Keller today," he admitted, the words tasting like ash on his tongue. "He wants to help me start a landscaping business." Maria's eyes widened. "That's incredible. Why do you look so worried?" "Because what if I can't do it?" He blurted out, the words tumbling from his mouth. "What if I fail and can't provide for you all? I can't let us lose everything we've worked for." Maria stepped closer, her expression softening. "Sam, you've always fought for us. This is just another challenge. You have to trust in yourself. You've built beautiful gardens from nothing. This could be your chance to create something amazing." Her faith ignited a flicker of resolve within him, but the fear remained, gnawing at the edges of his mind. What if this wasn't just a risk for him, but for his whole family? The stakes felt impossibly high, and the pressure of that choice loomed over him like dark clouds ready to unleash a storm. Suddenly, the blare of his phone broke through the tension. It was Ryan. Sam's heart raced as he answered, the urgency in Ryan's voice sending a jolt through him. "Sam, We need to discuss this quickly. I've got a meeting lined up with a potential client tomorrow, and I want you there. It's a big opportunity, but you need to be ready to present yourself well. Okay, Sam stammered, feeling the ground shift beneath him. What do you mean by ready? I mean you'll need a professional look, and you have to show them what you can do. This could lead to contracts worth thousands. But you'll have to act fast. They're looking to make a decision soon. The urgency in Ryan's tone sent a wave of adrenaline through Sam. I can do that, he said, though self-doubt threatened to drown him. But I don't have much time to prepare. Then make it count, Ryan replied, his voice steady. This is your moment, Sam. Don't let fear hold you back. As the call ended, Sam's pulse raced. Time was slipping away, and he had to make choices that would shape his family's future. He had to present himself as a business owner, someone with vision, not just a gardener. The implications of failure loomed larger than ever, but so did the possibility of success. The following morning, he awoke before dawn, the weight of the day pressing down on him, demanding action. He spent the next few hours piecing together a portfolio of his work, showcasing the small gardens he had transformed over the years. Each photo was a testament to his hard work and dedication, yet the gnawing fear of inadequacy lingered in the back of his mind. Finally, as he stood in front of the mirror, adjusting his shirt and trying to project confidence he didn't feel, the reality hit him. This was not just about a business pitch. It was about securing a future for his family, providing the life he had always wanted for Sophia and Matteo. The choice was clear. He could continue to live in fear or embrace the challenge head-on. With one last look in the mirror, Sam straightened his shoulders. He had made a decision. He wasn't just a gardener anymore. He was a man poised to transform his life. With a deep breath, he stepped out into the world, ready to face whatever lay ahead, determined to cultivate not just a business, but a legacy for his family. The stakes had never been higher, but he felt a sense of purpose igniting within him, a fire that would guide him through whatever storms awaited. The morning sun crested the horizon, casting golden rays across the dewy grass of Sam Rivera's modest backyard. Birds chirped cheerfully, but their melody was lost on him. His mind was a whirlwind of anxiety and resolve. Today wasn't just another day. Today was the moment he had been waiting for, the tipping point that could transform his dreams into reality. He glanced at the clock, 7 a.m. The meeting with Ryan Keller and the potential client was set for 10 a.m., leaving Sam just 3 hours to prepare. The urgency clawed at him, a constant reminder that time was slipping through his fingers like soil through a gardener's hands. He had to act fast and decisively, not just for himself, but for his family. With a determined breath, Sam turned to his small desk, cluttered with sketches and photos of the gardens he had meticulously cultivated over the years. Each image was a memory, a piece of his passion laid bare. He quickly organized the best of them into a portfolio, each page a testament to his skill and dedication. The colors, vibrant and alive, felt like a promise of what he could create if given the chance. As he gathered his materials, his thoughts drifted to Maria and their children. He could almost hear Matteo's laughter and Sophia's questions about the flowers in their garden. They were his motivation, the reason he had to succeed. The stakes weren't just about money, they were about security, about crafting a future where his children could thrive without the burden of financial instability. The thought ignited a fire within him, pushing him to work faster, to be ready. He glanced at the clock again. 7:30 a.m. time was of the essence. He needed to choose his outfit wisely, to embody the confidence and professionalism that Ryan expected. As he rummaged through his meager wardrobe, he picked out the best shirt he owned, a crisp white button-up, and a pair of slacks that had seen better days but would suffice. He meticulously ironed the wrinkles out, each press a declaration of his commitment to this new path. At 8 a.m., he stood before the mirror, adjusting his collar and smoothing his hair. The man staring back at him was a gardener, yes, but today he had to be more than that. He had to be a businessman, a visionary. He couldn't let fear hold him back. He had to rise to the occasion. With a final deep breath, he stepped away from the mirror, determination coursing through his veins. "Sam, are you okay?" Maria called from the kitchen, her voice laced with concern.
Yeah, I'm fine.
He replied, though his heart raced. Just getting ready. He could hear the clatter of dishes as she prepared breakfast, the familiar sounds grounding him amidst the chaos in his mind. But he knew he couldn't linger. He had to leave soon to meet Ryan, and the thought of being late twisted his stomach into knots. With his portfolio in hand, Sam stepped outside, the cool morning air wrapping around him like a refreshing embrace. But as he walked toward his truck, doubt crept in again. What if he wasn't good enough? What if he stumbled over his words in front of the client? The what-ifs threatened to drown out the confidence he had built up. But then he remembered Ryan's words from yesterday. "This is your moment, Sam. Don't let fear hold you back." Those words echoed in his mind, reigniting the ember of hope. He was not just a gardener. He was a man with a vision, a dream that could blossom into something magnificent. At 9 a.m., he pulled up to the Keller estate, his heart pounding as he parked. The sprawling mansion loomed before him, a symbol of everything he aspired to achieve. As he stepped out of the truck, the weight of the world seemed to lift slightly. He was here, ready to fight for his dreams. Sam took a deep breath, squared his shoulders, and walked toward the front door. With each step, he felt the urgency of the moment, the countdown to his future, propelling him forward. He was on the cusp of something extraordinary, and he would not let this opportunity slip away. Today would determine the course of his life, and he was ready to seize it. The air buzzed with anxious energy as Sam Rivera stood in the grand foyer of the Keller estate, his heart pounding in rhythm with the ticking clock on the wall. The opulence surrounding him was a stark contrast to the humble life he had known, but the stakes were personal, and the weight of his dreams rested heavily on his shoulders. Today was the day he either seized his future or let it slip through his fingers. Ryan Keller entered the room, his demeanor commanding yet approachable, a blend of the powerful entrepreneur Sam had read about and the supportive mentor Sam desperately needed. "You ready for this?" Ryan asked, his voice steady but laced with an urgency that mirrored Sam's own. "Yeah, I think so," Sam replied, swallowing hard. He clutched his portfolio tightly, the carefully arranged pages a testament to his hard work and his vision. But doubt crept in like a shadow, whispering that he wasn't enough. Ryan gestured toward the grand dining room, where a sleek conference table awaited them. "The client's here. Remember, just be yourself. Show them the passion that drives you." As they walked toward the table, Sam could feel his heart racing. The potential client, a distinguished woman with sharp features and an air of authority, looked up from her notes as they entered. "Mr. Keller," she nodded, a hint of curiosity in her gaze. "And you must be the gardener." "Yes, ma'am. I'm Sam," he stammered, his voice barely above a whisper. All at once, the weight of expectations crashed over him, and he felt like a child playing dress-up in a world that wasn't his. "Let's see what you've got," she said, her tone brisk. Sam took a deep breath, summoning the courage that had brought him this far. He stepped forward, laying the portfolio on the table and flipping through the pages, describing the projects he had completed, the vibrant gardens that flourished under his care, the sustainable designs he had envisioned. "This isn't just landscaping," he explained, feeling the passion surge within him. "It's about creating spaces that breathe life, that connect people with nature." The client listened intently, but as he spoke, he noticed her expression shift. Was it skepticism? Disinterest? Panic twisted in his stomach, and he faltered for a moment, the fear of failure creeping back in. "Sam," Ryan interjected, stepping closer. "Remember what we talked about, your vision. Don't just present your work, share your story. Your journey is what makes you unique." With Ryan's encouragement, Sam took a deep breath and continued. "I grew up in a small neighborhood where beauty seemed out of reach. I saw gardens as a way to bring hope and joy to my community. My children inspire me every day to build a future that's vibrant and full of life." The client's eyes narrowed, and for a moment, Sam feared he had overshared. But then, she leaned back in her chair, her expression thoughtful. "You're passionate, but this is a business. I need to know you can deliver results, not just concepts." A wave of uncertainty washed over him. "I can do this," he blurted out, desperation lacing his voice. "But I need support. I'm just starting out, and I don't have a proven track record." The tension in the room escalated, and Sam felt the weight of his vulnerability pressing down on him. He was standing at a crossroads. He could either admit his inexperience and risk losing this opportunity, or he could fight for his chance, drawing on every ounce of courage he had. "Maybe I should have more experience," he began, but Ryan cut him off, his voice firm. "No. Sam, you are enough. You've poured your heart into this, and that matters. You have to believe in yourself." The client watched the exchange, and Sam felt the heat of her scrutiny. If he backed down now, he would lose everything: the chance to build a future for his family, the opportunity to create a legacy. "Look," he said, a fire igniting within him. "I may not have years of experience, but I have drive. I'm willing to put in the work, to learn and grow. I will make this a success because I have too much at stake to fail." Silence enveloped the room, thick with tension as the client regarded him. He could feel the weight of his words hanging in the air, and he knew he had put everything on the line. It was a gamble, but he had come too far to retreat now. Finally, the client leaned forward, her expression softening. "I appreciate your honesty, Sam. I see potential in your passion, but I need a solid plan. Can you provide a detailed proposal by the end of the week?"
Yes.
"Absolutely," Sam exclaimed, relief flooding through him, but with it came the realization of the immense pressure he had just accepted. As the meeting concluded, and they stepped outside, Sam felt the weight of the moment settle over him. He had taken a risk, but it had paid off. Yet, as he walked alongside Ryan, the reality of his commitment loomed large. He would have to sacrifice time with his family, put in countless hours to meet the client's expectations, and face the possibility of failure head-on. "Good job in there," Ryan said, clapping him on the back. "You stood your ground." "Thanks, but it's just the beginning," Sam replied, his mind racing with the work ahead. "I have to make this happen, not just for me, but for my family." As he drove home, the weight of responsibility settled in, but so did a sense of purpose. He had fought for his dream, and while the road ahead would be filled with challenges, he was ready to embrace them. The journey was just beginning, and he was willing to pay the price for a life that could bloom into something beautiful. As Sam Rivera sat at the kitchen table, his heart still racing from the meeting, his mind replayed every moment, every word exchanged. Excitement wrestled with anxiety, creating a storm inside him. He had committed to delivering a detailed proposal by the end of the week, and the sheer magnitude of it loomed over him like a dark cloud. But as he glanced around his home, the comforting chaos of his children's toys strewn across the floor, he was struck by a profound realization. It wasn't just about the proposal or the potential contracts, it was about the legacy he wanted to create for his family. He could almost hear Sophia's innocent voice echoing in his mind, asking him why he looked sad, why he felt burdened. Suddenly, a flicker of clarity lit up his thoughts. The drawings she had made, those vibrant depictions of gardens and blooming flowers, weren't just representations of her imagination. They were reflections of his own dreams, the very dreams he had been nurturing but had almost lost sight of amidst the pressures of adulthood. She wasn't merely illustrating a future for herself, she had been capturing the essence of the journey he was on, the struggles, the hopes, and the beauty of growth. The realization crashed over him like a wave. All along, he had been teaching his children about resilience and passion through his own actions. Each moment spent in the garden, each painstaking effort to nurture life, was a lesson he was imparting to them without even realizing it. His fears of inadequacy were not just his burdens to bear, they were the very obstacles he needed to overcome to show them the strength that lay within. Sam's heart swelled with renewed purpose. This wasn't just about starting a business, it was about setting an example for Sophia and Matteo, about showing them that dreams could be pursued with tenacity and love. He couldn't afford to let fear dictate his path. Instead, he had to cultivate the very values he wanted them to inherit: courage, integrity, and unwavering hope. With this newfound understanding, Sam grabbed a sketchpad and began to draw. He poured his heart into the pages, sketching the gardens he envisioned, the landscapes that would not only beautify spaces but also serve as havens for connection and community. Each stroke of his pencil was infused with purpose, a promise to himself and his family that he would fight for their future. As he worked, a sense of serenity washed over him. The proposal wasn't merely a business document, it was a blueprint for the life he wanted to build, an embodiment of everything he had learned and everything he hoped to pass on. Sam realized that the true beauty of his journey lay not just in the success he sought, but in the love and resilience he would cultivate along the way. In that moment, standing at the intersection of fear and hope, he understood that he was not just shaping gardens, he was shaping futures, his children's and his own. And that truth transformed everything. The seed of possibility had taken root, and he was ready to nourish it with every ounce of passion he possessed. As the weeks turned into months, Sam Rivera's landscaping business began to blossom, much like the vibrant gardens he had envisioned. Each project he undertook was a labor of love, infused with the passion and resilience he had cultivated within himself. With Ryan's mentorship, he secured contracts that not only elevated his status as a landscaper but also allowed him to employ others from his community, creating opportunities for those who shared his struggles. One evening, after a long day of transforming a local park into a lush sanctuary, Sam returned home to find Sophia and Matteo in the backyard, their laughter mingling with the gentle rustle of leaves. He watched them, a warm smile spreading across his face as they played among the flowers. The garden had become more than just a business. It was a legacy, a living testament to the journey he had embarked upon. As he joined them, Sophia tugged at his shirt, her eyes bright with excitement. "Daddy, look. I made a garden just like yours." She held out a drawing, filled with colorful splashes and wild, whimsical shapes. It was chaotic yet beautiful, a reflection of her unrestrained imagination. Sam knelt beside her, tracing the outlines of her creation with his finger. "It's perfect, Mija. Just like you." His heart swelled with pride, realizing that he was no longer just a gardener but a father teaching his children the value of dreams and perseverance. That night, as he tucked them into bed, he glanced at the sketches pinned to the walls, each one a reminder of the journey they had taken together. The weight of his earlier fears